Hey guys, Matt Chan here with Train for the Win. 18.4. You know what the workout is. Let's talk about what my tips are going to be. Okay, first things first, static trunk through all the movements except for possibly the handstand walk. Static trunk means that you're going to maintain a neutral position throughout from your chest down through your hips, okay? So what I'm going to recommend for the deadlift, whether it's the 225 or the 315, is to wear a belt. Snug it up nice and tight, but have it in a position so that you can loosen it for the handstand push-ups and for the handstand walks. Second, while you're doing the handstand push-ups, think quads, guts, and butts, okay? Squeeze your quads so that your leg is straight. Squeeze your gut so that your trunk stays static, and squeeze your butt so that your hips stay straight. This is gonna allow you to meet that standard just a little bit easier. We're gonna jump into that in a second. Second, if you're like me, this workout isn't really about the deadlifts, it's about being inverted and the fatigue involved with that. I'm a little heavier, so pulling that deadlift was easier for me than being inverted. Now, other people are definitely the opposite. They're gonna have a harder time with the deadlifts, and they're gonna have to deal with the consequences of heavy deadlifts during the inverted parts of the exercises. But what I would recommend for both scenarios, unless you're just gonna crush this workout in sub 9 minutes, no problem, is to break the deads early and often, okay? That includes the 225. I know everybody is thinking of this as, hey, I'm gonna do Diane and then part 2. No, that's not what it is. There's no part 2, it's one workout. So you need to be able to get through the deads at a rapid pace, but also, Diane's only the first half of this workout, and then it's gonna be harder yet, okay? So break the deads early and often. And remember, you can do a rapid eccentric phase movement or even drop the bar in singles for a few repetitions. So what I would recommend is, in a standing position, when you send your hips back, let the bar pass your knees, and then let it almost free fall to the ground. What's the one thing we gotta remember? Keep the arms straight. Okay, so as the bar reaches the ground, remember to squeeze your triceps so that your arms don't rebound with the bumper plates and cause a bend, meaning that that would be a no rep. That would suck. Make each rep count in the handstand push-ups. Ugh, I just did this workout and I missed 4 repetitions only because up here I wasn't focused on completing the last repetition of every set. So in other words, my 21s, I broke those 3 times. I did 7, 7, and 7. Guess what? The last set of 7, I didn't meet the last standard. Make them count, okay? What I'm gonna recommend is Dorsiflex at the ankle every time your legs are against the wall. What that means is, if this is my lower leg and this is my foot, I'm telling you to bring your toes closer to your knees as your heels reach the wall, okay? Some of us, this is a very hard movement, but this will help us achieve that goal of getting the making the rep count a lot easier. If I point my toes, my heel drops, making that standard harder to meet. Next, your hand placement. So if I put my hands way out here, I'm not gonna meet the standard. Plain and simple, the measurements don't add up, okay? Whereas, if I have my hands just outside of shoulder width, it's a lot easier to meet that standard. What I recommend is, with your coach or your judge, make sure that you meet the standard and then kick down with your hands in one place and have your judge draw a circle with sidewalk chalk around your hands so that you know where that placement is if you do break or for each round. Next, the handstand walks. This is probably the hardest part of this workout if you haven't practiced it. Luckily, Train for the Win, we do this at least once every 2 weeks, sometimes more often than that, throughout the entire year. So guys, good luck, this one's for you. Remember, flex at the knees as you walk, okay? Kind of looks like that scorpion position. That gives you forward momentum and it makes your body a little bit less longer, meaning less demand on the midsection. Second, hand and head placement. Like the handstand push-ups, I would not recommend having your hands like this, rather having your index finger and thumb facing forward. The reason for that is because it's a little more demand on the shoulders, lats, as well as your triceps, rather than just your triceps, okay? Second, your head placement. I like to use my head as a counterbalance. So if I'm losing my forward momentum, I can tuck my chin and it'll send me further forward. Whereas if I'm going too far forward, I can lift my chin and it brings me back, okay? My recommendation for your neutral position is to look up through your eyebrows at the floor. Do not turn your head straight at the floor, causing you to have a flexed back position. This is gonna be much harder, especially as you come back to the deadlift. Let's take a look at the movements over here. here was my setup for the 2 deadlifts. Notice what's in between them. I wore a belt for the whole workout, okay? And all I did was loosen it up for the handstand push-ups. I had it like this for the deadlifts, nice and tight. And then as I completed the deadlifts, I loosened it, let it stick, and did my handstand push-ups, okay? That little bit of time is nothing in the grand scheme of things. Now, secondly, you can see my hand placements. There's my rings that I used, and I verified with my judge that my heels were above. I recommend doing this. Second, my tape, I used a chalk line and tape just in case the tape came off, which it did. And I also put the tape so that if my feet touch the tape, it's a good rep. For me, it's easier for my judge to see that. One thing I recommend is that verify with your judge that you're just gonna keep doing reps until you hear a no rep. So that way, you don't have to hold the top position and keep reaching. Just do your reps, and if you hear no rep, then you can kick down and try it again, okay? Now, the last recommendation I have is not going to your knees in the handstand push-ups during rest or for your first repetition. What I would recommend is track start, hands into the circles, kick up. Okay, here's your dorsiflex to meet the standard, and then when you kick down, go back to your track start. This is much faster than doing this. Kicking up, coming here and resting, and then kicking back up again. It's just added steps that are unnecessary and eat your time. Anytime we can eliminate just a little second here, second there, we're gonna be faster. Guys, 18.4. 2 workouts left. Have fun with this one. If you're terrible at the handstand walking, hey, just use it as a practice experience. But otherwise, have fun, be a good representative of the community, cheer on your buddies, and hey, 18.4, we got 2 left, let's have fun. Good luck.